Deion Sanders controversy. I don't think it's a controversy. He's a coach. He went to a bigger school to do more shit. I don't see the controversy in that. Other than that, no, I didn't hear anything else. To be honest, like, I don't know if like people think that he did something wrong, but he's a coach, and that's what coaches do. I played for 4 coaches in 4 years. I don't know why somebody would believe a coach that said they were staying out of school. Like, as much as people don't want to hear this, as anybody, you want to be at the top of your profession. So it's always easy for people to say things about other people doing shit, but they wouldn't do it themselves. I don't understand it. Anybody sitting in this room, if they got offered more money to go to a different job, they would leave in a heartbeat. Like, but everybody else wants to be like, oh, well, I thought you, like, you can say all you want to, but if somebody offered you a bag, you're out. Not you. I don't believe that. I don't. I think that there's just not enough money in your head. So if I offered you $10 million to go to a different job, you wouldn't do it. You're that loyal? Then you're better than me. Because I would. Why do I say that? Because that's why people work. They work to make money. Like, that's a part of the job. If you can provide for your family and build like whatever it is that you want to build, like, why wouldn't you? You're UPS loyal. So you work for UPS, and if FedEx came along and said, we will triple your salary, you're staying. We'll give you everything that you... I don't believe that. If you're saying that, then you're saying that because it's not staring you in the face. And then good for you. I honestly, like, I think you're awesome, but I think that's really dumb. UPS, like, you don't... UPS will fire you tomorrow if you do something stupid. They're not loyal to you, so why are you loyal to them? That makes zero sense. They think him leaving means... I understand from the outside looking in because it's easy. You know how they try... Look, him leaving has nothing to do... If it wasn't for Deion Sanders, half of this country wouldn't know where or what Jackson State was. That's just the truth. He completely changed the culture of that program in 2 years. UPS has been loyal, and they'll fire you in a heartbeat if you do something stupid. So if you wouldn't want to increase your quality of living, like, tenfold, like, they offered him a key to do whatever he wants to, an unlimited budget. They've been awesome to you. You know what? That's your prerogative. But honestly, I think that's not a smart move. Like, that's just, again, you're entitled to your opinion. And I know people like to talk shit. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people will say things, but when it push comes to shove, like, that's your prerogative. But to me, that's not smart. These companies will literally fire you in a heartbeat. If Deion Sanders went 0-12 next year, they'd fire him. Like, you have to be realistic in that. They're not loyal. Like, they're loyal as long as you're doing your job. But even with that, they got a bad year, they'll fire you. How many people did Amazon just lay off this year? How many people did Twitter just lay off? How many people did Facebook just lay off? Those people were probably loyal too. So if I work for Facebook and Twitter said, I'll triple your salary, I'm going to Twitter. That's just, that's the way it works. So if you feel like you're being loyal to a company, I'm not even being funny. Like, you're being brainwashed unless you own it. Yeah, I know Facebook was like 11K. I'm just like, that's 10,000 people, bro. Human beings. So if that's how you feel like you're earning brownie points by being loyal, like, God bless you. I'm just telling you. At the end of the day, for him, any coach wants to be at the top of their profession. And you can't be at the top of your profession unless you're in the top division. At the end of the day. It doesn't mean that he's being disloyal or anything like that, but I understand people get passion. So that's awesome. You found a good place to work. That has nothing to do with what I'm saying. But I do agree with that. I think everybody should love their job, but that has nothing to do with what I'm saying. I do like the passion, though, the compliments. That's always a nice thing. But it's at the end of the day, like, if y'all think that these companies are going to be loyal to you, like, they don't care about nothing but turning a profit. Let's drop it. Why? I'm not mad. I'm just being real. If you're mad, like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know why you think that, like, I'm calling out your character because I said that, like, people wouldn't be loyal for money, but I think that's called being smart. But if people want to look at it like that, like, to me, you don't owe these companies shit. Like I would chase the bag unless you owned it. That's different. Nah, I'm always gonna. You want to be like me and be a famous YouTuber eating amazing food? No, you don't. You think this job is that fun, but it's a great job, but at the same time, I don't think most people would want to deal with the things that you have to deal with when you're me as well. It's not all fun. Not just being real. With smaller companies, you know everyone. Even with a smaller company, if somebody came along, okay, I'll put it this way. Say I'm a small company and Google said, I'm going to buy your company for $3 billion. Do you think that company wouldn't sell it? So you got to, like, at the end of the day, this is how the world works. Unless you build your own shit, you've got to do what you got to do. Because that's how the world works now. Like, big bank takes little bank. That's just the way that it goes. CEOs don't take pay cuts. They just fire people until they can make the same amount of money without turning as big of a profit. Most people get laid off at least once in their life, especially when you work for places like that. So at the end of the day, you've got to do what's best for you and your family. Because I know that if I was making what I'm making now and I could triple what I made, then I would be able to take care of my family. And that's always going to be paramount for me. So it is what it is. I don't know why you think I'm directing these like at you, because you're just like the passion's getting you. But at the end of the day, you know, isn't UPS a union? Yeah, they are. And if they go on strike, then you got to go on strike. And they're not going to pay your wages when they go on strike, because it happens. So understand how collective bargaining agreements work as well. How many NFL players went bankrupt when the league had that lockout? Because they ain't going to do that. Then you got to take out some kind of crazy ass loan with a 50% interest rate just to be able to make ends meet, because you can't stop paying your bills. So just make sure you're set up for it. That union doesn't give a fuck about you either. They just want their dues, and to make sure. People think like you. I'm not even going to go into it, bro. That people don't really understand like how like the world works and shit. Like, that's not how the world works. But you're allowed to do whatever you want, man. At the end of the day, if I'm Deion, I'm going to Colorado. If micromanaging your diet to eat out for content, for me, yeah and no. I'm used to it now. NBA dudes went to the G. Bro, it's normal. You're in a union, and most unions these days are useless. Listen, man. And you still got to pay your dues, right? At the end of the day, that's just the way it works. So you've got to do what's best for you and your family. If Facebook came through and said, hey, we'll give you a bag to go streaming, I'm going to tell every single one of y'all, we going to Facebook. Man. At the end of the day, like, you've got to, within reason, do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? I would completely understand how you know, you've got to move with certain shit. I wouldn't say you have to sell your soul or sell out, but at the end of the day, you've got to do what you've got to do. I would, that's just how the world works. You know, I don't think anybody in here would work for free, but at the same time, if somebody said they're going to triple your money, so if you made 50K, you went from 50K to 150K in a Thanos snap, and you're going to say no, good for you. I'm doing that shit. I'm doing that shit. Y'all the same people thinking that these NFL players is going to stay loyal to a team and they're not going to leave for a bag. Like, oh, they had no loyalty. That's because they'll get cut in a heartbeat. That's the game, man. I know people like y'all think these NFL players really see that money when they sign them deals? Yeah, I'll leave too. At the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you, man. Everybody trying to, that's what we were talking about. That's where it started with the whole thing, that if somebody offered you triple what you were making to go to a different like company, you know, you would go too. You know, but that's how this conversation actually got started, was like because of that. If people think that, you know, y'all like, loyalty is fleeting, especially when I don't owe a business nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I was talking about. But he has an unlimited budget They have better facilities. They have more money. He's going to have a better chance to do what he wants to do. And Jackson State wasn't about to do that, even though he got them a TV deal and all kinds of other stuff. So he had to do what was best for him. I don't blame him at all. I think people are always willing to shit on other people, you know, for things that they do without thinking about would they do it themselves. That man was underpaid. Well, for him, it wasn't about the salary. They gave him an opportunity to run a program where he had no collegiate experience. So it was a gamble for both of them. Jackson State has never had like a crazy team. You know, I know Walter Payton went to Jackson State, and HBCUs, generally speaking, have a lot of NFL players, but he's going to take about 10 to 15 players with him. So they're going to get hit a little bit, but at the same time, he massively improved like the foundation of that program, you know, because I have a lot of people in my family who went to HBCUs, and generally speaking, they don't really give a shit about the football there. They care more about like, you know, the halftime show, at least when I went to games and stuff. So it's just something that, well, half the team, he said it. He's bringing about 10 of his guys in. He said it to the Colorado football team. There's already videos of it. He said that his son's definitely going. Travis Hunter is definitely going. And he said about 10 more guys are coming with him. So at the end of the day, like you've got to do, you know, how could you not take that? You have to, like, I'm sorry. Like, even if you came, like, if y'all came up with a small business and all of a sudden here comes this place saying, all right, cool, we're going to give you a bag. You're going to be able to do here. You work out your own terms. You're going to write your blank check. Y'all saying no? For what? Like, I don't really see the controversy, in my opinion. That's just other people, because most people, if I was a professor at Jackson State, most people, if you worked at Jackson State, I don't care if you was a cafeteria person, and University of Texas say, hey, man, hey, slide over here and make these omelets. I'm going to triple your salary. I'm going to give you room and board. You could bring your kids, all that shit. And you're just going to be like, oh, nah. Like, really? Okay. Hey, that's fine. Most people that said that don't do shit for HBCUs, but they going to throw shade at Prime. That's why I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people that say shit like that don't do anything to help out what they're complaining about. But at the same time, they'll sit there and throw shade at it. And you could say that about a billion different things, you know? Like, unless you put your money where your mouth is, or your reputation or whatever it is, you know? So at the end of the day, that's fine.